So today, I'm going to teach you guys about 6 unorthodox conversion optimization and funnel optimization techniques to help you generate more business and traffic and sales, right? And before I get started, who's the timer person? Is there a timer person? All right, cool. Let's get started. I'm going to go pretty fast. Just hashtag, feel free to use that. I've been doing business for 11 years. I've grown almost every single one of my businesses through A/B testing, right? As you keep running more and more tests, you end up learning new things. And I've just run so many. It's not that I'm smart or I'm smarter than anyone else here. I've just run so many and I've seen so much data. You kind of end up figuring out what works and what doesn't. So let's get started. Idea number 1, flip around your funnel. All right, so conversion optimization is like dating, right? So if I go up to a random person, let's say the lady looking down on her laptop, anyone, unbound shirt. What's your name? What's your name? Nadia. If I say, will you marry me right now? Chances are you're going to say? All right. If she was single, she would still probably say no. Why would she say no? Yes, she is smart. But what's the other reason? Okay, not enough data, but what else? If someone comes up to you in the middle of the street and just say, will you marry me? I don't care if they're Victoria's Secret model, right? Why would you say no? Or I don't care if they're Brad Pitt. Exactly, you don't know them. That's right. Whoever said that, give yourself a pat on the back. That's the way the internet works too. Why would you expect someone to just come to your website and be like, hey, buy something for $1,000. Okay, here's my credit card, right? I wish the world worked like that, but it doesn't. But once you get to know people, they're much more likely to say yes, right? Just like you date someone, get to know them, move in together, you ask them to marry you, hopefully they say yes. If not, you kind of wasted some time. But here's what most funnels look like. Someone comes to your website, sign up, and you generate some sales, right? So I decided to do something. I'm like, you know what? Why not flip around the funnel? Why not get people to actually use the product before I actually try to charge them? Put in a URL first. From there, what's your goal? Start creating product, right? It actually caused a 52.11% increase in signups. All by switching it around. Still ask for their credit card, just got more signups. Why? Because people got to play around with the product a bit before they actually bought. Idea number 2, evoke curiosity, right? People will drop off unless you give them a reason to stick around. So one of my buddies, Mike, we were talking and I'm like, what makes you stick around? And we were drinking beers and he's like, those virus checkers, right? He runs McAfee and Norton on his computer all the time and it actually causes him to stick around because when it tells him there's a virus, he has to stay and find out what it is so he finishes the whole test. Why he gets viruses on his computer? That's a whole different issue, right? But he has that problem. So he's always sticking around for McAfee. So I decided to analyze people's websites and tell them that there's errors. As they progress, there's more and more errors, right? Assuming we find them. Instead of showing them the errors, I say, put in your information, right? Got more people to put in their information. Gave them a reason to stick around because there's errors, right? 63.5% increase in responses. We were collecting leads. So not only were we getting more leads, but we had a 63+% increase in people actually following up because we were giving them a reason to stick around. Idea number 3, don't forget to follow up. This is my favorite. I have a friend, Timothy Sykes. He's a stock trader in the US. He teaches people how to make money by trading stocks. He tells you buy, sell, etc., right? And what he decided to do is he's like, if you want to be in my program and pay me $7,000 or $10,000 a year, whatever his program costs, it's actually pretty expensive. The guy crushes it. He's like, you got to first do these homework assignments. Think about it that way. He's telling you, if you want to give me money, you got to do homework, right? This is worse than college, right? I was like, this can't be working, right? So he taught me something. You need to train your visitors to buy. You got to teach them to open up emails. You got to teach them that if they do something, they can get a reward. So he did that. In essence, he's making people do little micro commitments, tasks. So every time he emails them a homework assignment, he doesn't just give it to them in an email. He makes them click to go to a web page to then see the homework assignment. Then they got to click play on a video. Do you know why he's making them click all these times? He wants the user to understand that if you want the benefit is free information. The homework assignments actually teach you how to be a better stock trader. You have to click. Without the clicking, you're not going to get the benefit. So that way, when he says, hey, here's an offer. Do you want to buy this? $5,000, $10,000, $20,000? What did he already teach you to do? Click. Not just click the add to cart. He also taught you to click the credit card fields and click the buy button. It works extremely well. Results? 84.7% increase in revenue. Now think about that. Giving someone a homework assignments increases revenue. Idea number 4, quiz your visitors. And don't worry, it's not like a college quiz. Everyone hates those, or at least I did. So there's this site called how much does a web app cost? It's something like that. I forgot the domain name. How much to make an app? I think it's howmuchtomakaanapp.com, something like that. And they decided to say, hey, you want to create an app? We're going to tell you how much it's going to cost. They start asking you questions, show you the progress bar, and at the end, if you're interested, they get your information saying, hey, if you're actually interested in creating this app, put in this information, and here's how much it's going to roughly cost. So there's a few things. When you're creating a quiz for your business, start with 5 questions, use images when possible, and limit your response choices to 4. Start with that. You can test up and down from there. And what you'll learn is more people will go through the quiz and they're much more likely to fill out a lead. There's a company called Revolution Golf. Have you guys heard of them? If you play golf, you may have. They do the same quiz model. They make you go through a quiz to figure out how to improve your backswing or reduce the number of strokes or whatever it may be. And by taking people through a quiz, and they actually adapt the questions based on the previous one you filled out first, they then show you a product at the end that you should be buying. That quiz generates them over $20 million a year in revenue. Not bad. Right? We did this with lead generation sites. Instead of just asking for a lead, we make them go through a quiz first. And what it actually caused was a 281% increase in signups. All by getting people to go through a quiz first. Why? Because they're engaged, especially if you make them visual. If you make them all text-based, you're going to get a lot of drop-off. Idea number 5, make signing up easy. How many times have you guys signed up for a service? Once? Twice? 3 times? I bet all of you guys have signed up for more than 50 services in your lifetime, in which you're putting in your name and email somewhere. Would you agree with that? Probably even 100, right? What was if I could tell you that you can sign up for a product without giving your name, email, and password? Would you be happy, assuming it doesn't break any privacy laws, all your information is secure, etc.? Would you be happy? Yes, right? Well, you can. So buffer. Log in with Twitter, log in with Facebook, log in with LinkedIn, or log in with the email address. A lot of people are doing it. I understand they're a social media business, but anyone can do this. We did this at GOKISSmetrics. GOKISSmetrics sells B2B solutions for businesses. So you would think, oh, people would use their corporate email address, Facebook wouldn't work, especially Gmail, right? You guys wouldn't think Gmail would work for a business that only sells to other businesses. Well, we decided to test it out. Sign up with your Google account. We didn't even give another option that stated also sign up with your email. We made you sign up with your Google account, right? Just that one little change increased signups by 59.4%. Then we decided to do something funny. I can see the unbalanced person shaking their head. You're going to try this, aren't you? All right, try this after. It'll even work better. So we decided to do something else. We're like, you know what? I hate signing up. I don't mind logging into sites, but I don't like signing up. So we decided to change the call to action button to say log in with Google, right? We got another 22% increase in signups just by changing the word from sign up to log in. So if you take both the conversion rates, the 59 and the 22, it compounds, right? You're looking at roughly like a 90+% increase in conversions. That's not too shabby. All by just using Google. And we have customers like Microsoft, Amazon, etc. They all signed up through the Google funnel. And you would think people at Microsoft aren't using Gmail. I can prove to you they are. Right? So if someone's telling you, oh, it's not going to work, it's not worth testing, you know what? Try it out. You can't go wrong. Just send 10% of your traffic. What's the worst that's going to happen? Idea number 6. Get personal. And I got this idea from Facebook years ago. Do you remember when you were on Facebook like 5 years ago and you would see all these ads, your friend has a crush on you? You remember that? Those guys made a killing. They were spammers, but they made a killing. And I'm not saying you should spam, but you can actually learn a lot from these kind of people. Don't do the shady stuff they're doing, but take the ethical tactics that they're doing and replicate them and throughout the shady business model part. So dating sites make you feel special, very special, right? They tell you when you go to these sites, OkCupid, Match.com, what else is there? Tinder doesn't do it because Tinder's mobile-based. Actually, Tinder kind of does it. It's geo-based, right? They make you feel special. So if I'm logging in from Vancouver and I go to Match, I don't know if Match is here, it's an IAC company, it usually says, hey, there's 5,639 singles in Vancouver. What are you waiting for? Right? I was like, oh, that's a lot of single people in Vancouver. Maybe I should sign up. So we tested this out on timsykes.com. I'm determined to create a millionaire trader in Las Vegas. My only question is, will it be you? Right? Tim is down to create a millionaire trader. He's done this many times. We started using geo-based data. The sign-up rate actually increased quite a bit. We decided to do the same thing on my site. Do you want more traffic? Hey, I'm Neil Patel. I'm determined to make a business in Las Vegas successful. My only question is, will it be you? The best part about this is, for all the people around Las Vegas or cities like that, geo-targeting is not exact. So it may say Las Vegas even when someone's like 30, 40 miles away. You know how many emails we are getting per day? Like, hey, I applied, I really want to do it. I'm not based in Las Vegas, but I'm only 20 miles away. I can drive. Traffic's not too bad, right? People are really engaged. Like, wow, this is personal. It's just an opportunity for someone who's in Las Vegas. Heck, he doesn't service in, nor do I. We don't service people in Hamburg, Germany. But if you go to the page, it'll show up Hamburg, Germany if you're in Hamburg, Germany, right? That's what we do. Then we also took this data and decided to throw it throughout all the steps from geo, popping in the name, changing it to a multiple step process instead of single. So that way people are actually feeling special throughout the whole sign up process. You know what happened? 68% increase engagements. So conversions jumped roughly 30% from signing up, but engagement was more important. What I mean by engagement, I'm talking about LTV of the customer. Customers were staying 68% longer. And I know that may not sound like a big deal, right? But it's really hard to keep customers. If your customers are only staying for a year and you're getting them to stay for an extra 7 months, that's huge, right? That's 7 months worth of extra money. So personalizing a site, making people feel special like they do on the dating sites can really help you grow your revenue. So try out these tactics. It doesn't matter if you're e-commerce, lead gen, service-based business. You can always test out these tactics. I've done on all these types of sites, and it works. These 6 tactics have been tested 20, 30, 40 different times on each and every single types of verticals, right? The only one you can't always use on e-commerce is the quiz one, but you can if you're only selling a few items. If you're using a lot, that one's a bit hard to use. Other than that, test them out. I guarantee you will see more growth from your business. If you don't, you can email me, heckle me, and I'll actually give you free advice. Take care. Thanks.